Alright, this is a mini review and unboxing for the Mad Catz CTRLi controller. It's a Bluetooth controller. Got this in a little bit earlier today. It's the extended version of Apple's MFI controller setup. They've got the regular version, which basically is a directional pad, and the four face buttons. The extended version, which is this one, has two joysticks. It's basically laid out exactly like an Xbox 360 controller, Xbox One controller, or similar to a PlayStation controller. This is the package from Mad Catz. Pretty high-end looking packaging. It's got some unusual cuts across the front in a couple of spots. But got this earlier today. Been eagerly anticipating one of these ever since they were announced. Seems like forever ago now. But I got this one in today, and figured we'd take a look at it and do a quick review of it, and let's see what exactly it is. Comes with some stickers, the manual, nothing that big of a deal there. This is the actual controller itself. There's a couple little protection covers for the joysticks. And it also comes with two AAA batteries. This is a Bluetooth controller, and size-wise, you can see it is almost exactly the same size as an Xbox 360 controller. For that matter, the weight is maybe ever so slightly lighter than a 360 controller, but it is very slight. I checked it earlier, played several games with it. The triggers are quiet, they feel good. Shoulder buttons the same way. It's not squeaky, flimsy, cheap. Sounds the same when you tap on it as a 360 controller. I've seen some of the controllers that are just really, they sound super hollow and very thin. This one isn't like that at all. It's got the two offset thumbsticks, four face buttons. There is a pause button and a Bluetooth connect. The power is a slider right down here on the face, and it runs on two AAA batteries. One thing that's a little strange, underneath the two AAA batteries is a USB port, micro USB port. So if they release some kind of a firmware update for the controller, all you'd have to do is plug it in your computer and update it, which could be extremely handy. This particular pad doesn't do what some of the other ones do. The Moga pad, for an example, has a strip that runs down the center that actually holds either your iPhone or your iPod. This doesn't do that. What they've done with this instead is they give you this, which is a piece that has a pretty strong spring in it. It's padded on the bottom, and then all four of the actual grippers. I use this with my son's iPhone 4, and this will even stretch wide enough to hold a Vita. So it shouldn't have any issues at all holding the new iPhone 6s or the extended model of the 6. Basically, the way you attach it, you just remove this nut, and then it just attaches just like so. So it's a pretty simple deal. Very strong spring on this. Once his iPhone was in it, you can sling it hard and knock it out, but if you're slinging it that hard, you mean to do some serious damage. I don't see any possible way you would knock anything that's in this loose during normal gameplay. One of the reasons I went with this one is because I won't be using this with an iPhone or an iPod. I'll be using it with an iPad. So I like the ability to get rid of the gripping part because I just don't need it. And this one allows for that without changing the actual look of the controller or taking up extra space. When I played the games that I played with this earlier, I did Oceanhorn, a couple of shooters, and also a racing game I can't remember the name of offhand. But the controller performs flawlessly. No dead zones to the sticks at all that I can find. They have the same rubberized feel to them. There's 4 nubs on them. I mean, literally just like a 360 controller. Some sticks, sometimes you'll feel a little bit of a dead zone before they actually start maneuvering the on-screen action. This doesn't do that at all. These are exactly the same as a 360 stick. You move them and you're moving whatever it is you're controlling on screen. So they have a good spring to center, stronger than a PlayStation 3 controller, but pretty much the same that you would get on a new 360. Buttons are good, not squeaky or cheap feeling. The directional pad even is pretty much the same as you would see on a 360. It's not one of those locked in like the new Plus Minus or the new Plus version that they put out on the newer one. This is pretty much the exact same type of a pad that you had on the original 360 controller. So this is about as close to a 360 controller for a non-360 use as you could run onto that I could imagine. The quality is every bit as good as a 360 controller. This controller, instead of being $80 or $100, the way some of the MFI controllers have been, this one's $60 from Mad Catz. I managed to get this one with no shipping because they're running a free shipping offer at the moment. Later on, this will be available in several other colors. They're going to have white, blue, orange, obviously this black, and seems like there's another color too, but I can't remember what they are offhand. But at the time I got this, black was the only one available. The back has got kind of a rough texture, again, same way that you see on a 360 controller. Front on a 360 controller is shiny, same way on this. I mean, this is literally quality-wise, weight, and the way it performs. This is basically a 360 controller. Bluetooth connecting was very easy. Just turn it on, press and hold the Bluetooth button for 3 seconds, and then it'll be in flashing pretty quickly. Had no trouble getting the iPad to recognize it right off the bat. They also have software, which I can't remember the name of offhand, Game something, but at the moment it doesn't actually do anything with this controller. I think it does something with the CTRLi controller, but it doesn't do anything with the I yet. But if you're looking for a controller to work with an iPad, iPod, or an iPhone, I can't see how you would do much better than this, especially at the price. Mad Catz is going to be releasing a mini version of this. I don't know how much smaller it's going to be, but it is supposed to be somewhat smaller. But if the quality of that controller is as good as this one, it's supposed to be, I believe, $10 cheaper than this one. So if you're looking for something a little smaller, that may be the way to go. But like I said, if the buttons and everything else are as good, and triggers and sticks are as good as this one is, they definitely hit a home run with this. If you've got any questions, any other comments, let me know, and I'll try to answer them. One thing, this is listed on the box as being for iOS 7. These do work out with iOS 8 without any trouble. I know when they first did the iOS 8 update, 01 and then the 02 update had some problems, and they're causing some issues with some of the Bluetooth controllers. They do supposedly have that fixed in 8.1, so once that releases, that should take care of any of the problems. But as far as using this with a game, you run this with your Apple device, and if you run that through an Apple TV, you've got another console on your hands. So this is exactly what I was looking for price-wise, quality-wise, and it does the trick. And thanks for watching.